today we're going to be doing a level 1 Pilates class, and this is going to be focusing a bit more on flexibility and then strength in those new ranges. And flexibility and range is super important because we want to have options for movement. When muscles get tight, other areas in our body start to compensate, and then that can lead to body dysfunction and pain or difficulty with meaningful tasks. So I'm just going to take you through a bit of a flexibility and strengthening in outer ranges. So that's the plan for today. All right, we're going to start by standing up. We're starting with a spinal roll. I'm going to do a couple of variations of this. And so what I want you to first focus on is taking that chin in towards your chest, feeling it stretch the back of the neck. Allow the shoulders to round forward and rounding through the upper thoracic, lower thoracic, into the lumbar, and reaching towards the ground. Right? Taking a breath here. Have a nice soft bend in the knees. Tuck your pelvis in. Stack that lumbar vertebrae back up on top of each other. Then the thoracic spine. The cervical spine, and then finally your head will stack up on top as well. So you can see a bit better. And we're going again. Chin to chest. Rounding through the shoulders. Belly button drawn in. So you can stretch down there. In that belly button. Stacking that lumbar vertebrae up. Really important that we try and do this one fairly slowly because we're trying to get each segment of our vertebrae to move at a time as we do this. Because it's really easy for us just to go bend down, touch our toes, but we really want to focus on articulating each individual spot. Make sure each vertebrae is moving on top of each other. Leave it stiff today. And then stepping up again. We'll go down this way one more time. So scope that head, really stretch the back of the neck. Shoulders, try to get that upper thoracic. Belly button drawn in still. Lower thoracic. Along the spine, lower along the spine, and feel stretch the lower back of the legs. Right, now while you're down here, at the bottom of the stretch, I want you to straighten one leg and bend the other leg. And switch. So it's almost a little bit like you're walking, so you're pulsing through your feet. Right? If you can't touch the ground, feel free to rest your hands on your legs wherever you are in that range. So we're bending into that hamstring on one side and the other side. Down. Reaching a bit of stretch to the back of the legs. And keep that head dropped. Okay, reach down. Try to really relax that head. Just take a few more counts. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, now soften in those knees. We'll stack each vertebrae back on the top of each other. Back up to standing. All right, we're going to do some hip hinges now. So we are focusing a little bit more on our posterior chain, so our hamstrings, glutes, low back. But we're going to do a hinge, okay? So we're going to keep a nice neutral spine for our upper back, and then we're going to hinge at our hips. Soft knees, lean forward for the stretch at the back of those legs, and then coming up. Squeezing through that bottom. Going up through that belly button. Those hips back. Feel the stretch through the back of the legs. Up. And for this one, I have my feet slightly wider than shoulder width as I come down. Keep your eye line falling down. If you lift your chin, that's actually stressing your nervous tissue more. So not really focusing on that at the moment. Get those hips belly button drawn in. Really trying to get some strength and then our head's coming forwards. Really important to keep the belly button drawn in. A good way to check that is when you're leaning forward, if your belly's sort of hanging down a little bit more, that means you're not squeezing through your deep core muscles so that your stomach should literally lift. That's a good little cue if you want to check if your core's activated during this phase. So bend forward, belly button drawn in. Have a feel of your stomach. My stomach dropping forward. If it is, try to lift the stomach contents. Hopefully you're feeling nice and warm through the back of the hamstrings now. We're going to do an offset variation of this exercise now. So you're going to have one foot slightly in front and the other foot slightly behind. So it's a bit like that, okay? And then you're going to bend the foot that's slightly behind. I'll bend the knee of the foot that is slightly behind. Sorry. So there, and then we're going to hinge forward and it's going to likely make the stretch quite a bit stronger. Front leg. Now just place your hands on your hips. Are you still hinging evenly the hips? Because even though our feet are asymmetrical, we should be hinging about the same time, okay? Keep that belly button drawn in. We're only going to do about 8 here. Control through the hamstrings. Belly button drawn in. If you can't go as low as me, that's absolutely fine. But everybody's got their own range. Everyone's got their own muscle tightness in certain groups. Everyone's got their own flexibility needs. But I just really want you to concentrate on controlling your movement through this range. Got one more. And then changing legs, so offset those feet. So you're taking one leg behind, one leg in front, and then bending the leg that's slightly behind, belly button drawn in, nice long spine, following that gaze down towards our feet. If you get to here, that is absolutely fine. If you get to flat back, that's absolutely fine. Anywhere in between, whatever feels best for your body. Just really focus on that straight back. We're just trying to dissociate our movement from the pelvis, the legs versus the back. And I know on this side, I'm tighter in my hamstrings on this side, so I don't think, probably it might look different, but I'm not going quite as low on this side. So I have tighter hamstrings on this side. Just a few more here, everyone. Try to incorporate that breath work a little bit in, so taking the breath in as you lower yourself down, and out as you're coming up. Five more, everyone. As you up your reps, can you get any lower in that stretch? Let's count. I'll say 2, and last one. Well done, everyone. Okay, so now we're trying to get some of that inner thigh rotation and a bit of glute stretching. Now everybody's unique again. I'm a dancer, so I've got a little bit more external rotation at my legs. We're going to take ourselves into some sumo squats. So when we're doing this, we want to make sure those knees are falling in line with our second toe. I don't see any knees caving in, so my knees are caving in, coming in that way. So you want to set yourself up nice and tall, and it should almost be like an inner toaster. And that bottom is going to slide down straight. Okay, we're really going to open up those legs. Down. And you can ease yourself into it, so if you need to do a little squat, and then go deeper gradually. I just use my hands for a bit of feedback. If you want to take your hands off to make it a little bit more work with the legs, please do so. Front of your chest and your shoulders, but just really focus on keeping those knees rotated, stretching through that inner thigh, working through those glutes. You got your chest, hold that chest nice and tall, round through those shoulders. Hope the rain's not coming through in the video. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come down, we'll hover one side, hover to the other side, back to center, and back up to standing. So come down, transfer our weight more onto one leg, and the other leg, back to center, and up. That chest high, back nice and straight still, belly button drawn in. Hopefully, still moving through the rain. Side, side, side. Now let's begin with side. Side. Now you take your feet a little bit wide for this side. And center. And center, belly button drawn in. Just stretch for that thigh. You need to have your legs. That's absolutely fine. Go up, so center. Right, now I'm going to do a bit of a hold here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. You're going to go back down on that same side. Okay? Press down and you're going to raise that heel up and down with that leg with the right arm. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, keep that belly button drawn in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up to center. Now you can do that 10 second hold to the other side. 10, keep that belly button drawn in. Hips drawn in, no butt sticking in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're lifting that toe up and down. 10, 9, keep the belly button drawn in. 7, 6, that's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, right? Bring those feet in, shake those legs out. All right, we are going to come onto the ground now, and if you have issues with your knees or anything like that, I would recommend just bring a towel or something under your knees for this next series. So we're coming into a lunging position. All right, and so what I'd like you to do is we're going to move in and out. We're going to press our hips forward and then come back. And we're just going to start here and just going to lay our arm. Pressing forward. So we're trying to keep the chest up, neutral pelvis, so our bottom isn't sticking out. So you're going to start with your pelvis in a neutral position and then press forward. Gradually take yourself deeper into that stretch as you feel comfortable. If you're feeling like this one's quite strong, please just focus on having a nice quality stretch. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to hold 10 counts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more go. Now, just bring yourself back. So you're going to straighten that leg. You're going to lean forward. This is just your break for a moment, because then we're going to make it slightly more challenging. So what you're going to do is you want to make sure that before you start going into the stretch, you want to make sure you're at 90 with this leg, 90 with this leg. And it's quite a cool pattern, I think. So you're into a hip flexor stretch. Come back, tuck that toe, hover your knee, and then come back down. We're going again into our hip flexor stretch. Come back, keep that pelvis tucked, hover that knee, down. You should feel this quite strongly through your glutes, through the quads, with my balance. Get through everywhere. Good, and we want to make sure that our chest is sitting on top of our hips as we hover. Not sure if you saw them. I was cheating a little bit, leaning forward, but we're trying to lengthen through the front of that hip as we do that one. We won't be here for too long because it's quite a challenging one. So for another 10 counts, everyone. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty. Just sit back into child's pose for a moment. And we'll just give your legs a quick break momentarily before we do the other side. Alright. Then coming up and bringing the other leg in front, so just make sure you're doing the other side. I'm going to turn around for this one. Alright, so we're just going to start by moving in and out of that hip flexor stretch, okay? So we're pressing those hips forward and coming back. Forwards and up. And if you need to just check in with yourself, make sure you start with a nice straight position here, okay? For some of you, that might be all the stretch you need. There's no balance, right? Forward and coming back. Drawn in. Make it right front. And lots of hip mobility this morning, which is really, really important. Keep pressing forwards. Knees in line with those toes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, now stretch that front leg. Again, sit back for a moment. And then we're going to do the slightly harder, like the harder variation where we're moving in between the hip flexor stretch and the knee lunge. So make sure you set yourself up right. So about 90 degrees here, 90 degrees to that bottom leg. So those hips forward. Come back, tuck that toe, and hold the knee. Might take a little bit of focus. And then we lower that leg down. Stretch out through that hip flexor. Come back. Tuck the knee, hovering. Should be quite strong through the quads and through the glutes. Chest up, keeping shoulders over your hips. Making sure as well as you're hovering, that knee doesn't cave into that knee line. The base, second toe. We're going to be here for another 10 counts. 10 counts, everyone. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. One more in. One. Well done. And take yourself back into child's pose. Relaxing down. Just enjoy the stretch there for a moment while I talk you through the next sort of sequence we're going to do, and it's going to be going from child's pose, and then you're going to transition into seal. Okay, so we're trying to stretch out through the front of those hips, stretch through the front of the abdomen as we transition between the two. So, from child's pose, you're going to lift your bottom up off of your feet, Tuck your belly button in, and you're almost gonna pause partway through, like 4-point kneel, and then you're gonna tuck that pelvis in, drop those hips, and then open your chest up. All right, and now I want you to make sure that your shoulders aren't anywhere near your ears, away. Now, if this is a bit strong, put through your low back, please feel free to walk your hands out a bit further, as that just reduces the angle going through your low back. Or conversely, you could lower onto your elbows and then press up and then walk the hands back. So I'll repeat that. So you can come, as an alternative, you can bring your hands slightly further forward and stretch from there, or you can lower through those elbows. Okay, if this is a bit strong for you, through your low back. And up through those elbows, walk your hands back, and sitting back into child's pose. Remember, if you need a bit of a deeper stretch, keep your hands close to your hips. Right, now we're trying not to hinge at one level of our back. We're really trying to make it quite even, and like an even curve through our spine, okay? So we're stretching our back one way as well, so see how I got the arch through my low back, and then we're trying to round through that back as we come back into child's pose. Forward, tuck, up through the chest. Again, if you need that variation of your elbows, please do so. And then rounding through that back. And lower. Really come around that back. As you come up and through. Now I want you to sit your bottom back up onto those feet. Reach those hands forward for a moment, and then we're just going to wriggle those hands to the side. Really try to stretch through the side of the body. Relax that head down. Walking those hands inside. Take a few deep breaths here. Everyone, lovely work. Now we're going to come and lie on our backs, and so we're going to do a bit of core work and a little bit of low back rotations, okay? But we'll just start lying on our backs, and I just want you to let your knees gently fall to the side and feel a bit of a mobility stretch through the lumbar spine. And then I want you to come back with your legs in the middle and then let them drop to the other side. Now I want you to try and keep your shoulders evenly down on the mat. And just notice as your knees fall from side to side, does one side slightly tighter? Does one side feel easier? If your knees get to the ground, that's very impressive, got good lumbar rotation. But if they don't hit all the way to the ground, that's absolutely fine. It's an area to improve on. Especially with us spending lots of time at our desks, sitting at the moment, it's really important that we get mobility and options through our low back. If you're watching this, you're already doing pretty well for yourself. Alrighty. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and bring our legs up into tabletop. So that's having our knees over our hips, and yeah, and then our what should we call it? Our legs over our knees at a 90-degree angle. Press your hands into the ground, and I want you to let both legs fall out one side, and you should feel your hip on you should feel your hip lifting up. And then I want you to squeeze through those obliques, squeeze through those deep core muscles, and bring your legs back. So allowing those legs to fall to the side, feel a slight lift through the low back, feel that lengthening through the sides of your abdominals. And squeeze together to get those legs to come back to tabletop. So take the legs to the side. Squeeze through that belly button, squeeze through that core, bring them back. All right, this is what I mean with like having good range, but we need to be able to control it. So how far can you take your legs away from your body before you completely roll or before you start to compensate? All right, so be really, really aware. This aggravates anything in your low back where you feel your abdominal starting to fatigue. Just lower your feet back down. Just trying to incorporate that breath work now. Oh, and see if my knees are sneaking this way. We want to try and get those knees over our hips as you take the legs away. Try to take a breath out, and as they come back in towards your chest, take a breath in. Right? So breathing out, breathing in, squeezing through those abdominal muscles, really trying to keep those knees and hips in line. Breathing out, and breathing in. Almost there, everyone. Lowering those legs down. All right, really nice work, everyone. Now we're just going to do a couple more abdominal exercises while in lying, just to, because we need to be able to have good control of our pelvis and low back in a straight position as well. So I'm going to start by bringing one leg to tabletop, and I'm going to add a few progressions to this. And then lowering it down. So you can through that belly button. Trying to avoid doming of the stomach. We want it to drop in. And that leg down. And just bring your legs to your pelvis. You want to have even weight bearing through each side of the sit bones. If this feels like a good challenge for you, please continue with this one. If you'd like to make it slightly more challenging, you can bring that leg into tabletop, and then you want to extend that leg away from you, back, and down. Again, that is bringing that leg to tabletop. Sending the leg away, back in, and lowering the foot down. In, make it slightly more challenging now, if you wish. If not, continue with the level that feels best for you. Bring both legs into tabletop. Extend one leg away, and then bring it back to center. Now, you have more control as you take that leg. You want to keep it almost in line with the foot that's in tabletop. If you have fairly strong core control, you can take that leg a bit further away, but you don't want to feel any change in pressure through your low back or any discomfort. So this is depending on your physical abilities with this exercise. You won't be here for too long. Just really bring your awareness. Is that tummy still engaged? Your core muscles a bit like a corset. They should be sucking everything in, supporting all of your stretches in your back. Oh, the lights have gone dim. Let's go for another 10 counts, everyone. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering this feet down. Really lovely work, everyone. Now, we're going to do some more abdominal work because I just love it. We're going to do some chest lifts, okay? So we're going to interlace our fingers at the back of your head. Now I want you to think you're holding almost a peach under your chin. All right, I'm going to lift the shoulder blades off the ground. Now we're focusing on creating a round shape through the spine this time. All right, so we can lift, and it's always going to look over your knees, your eye line. Strengthening this muscle group here is actually quite important for your posture. Because if you have a tendency to stand with your bottom out a little bit more, it could be indicative of weak muscles through your rectus abdominis, which are like your six-pack ones, or the ones that run down the middle, and they run from your pubic bone to the lower part of your rib cage. So if they're not strong enough, they can't hold you in a neutral spine. So it is important that we do some chest lifts and some work through abdominals, but we're not going to go nuts with them as well. I think I'm trying to get that thoracic flexion, so I'm really trying to run through that upper thoracic at the moment. Have you got that nice ripe peach or juicy orange under your chin, so you're not hinging at your neck. And also your head can weigh up to 8 kilos, so really try to relax that head into your arms. It can be quite strenuous through your deep neck flexors. We're only going to be here for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just letting yourself take a moment there. We're just going to do one more stretching exercise. So get you to sit up, fix your ponytail if you have to. And we're just going to do a few side bends into mermaid, okay? So you can sit with your legs crossed, you can sit with them in a froggy position, or you can sit with one leg bent in this way and then the other leg bent behind you. So you're going to reach your arms out to the side. I want you to reach one way, up and over. Really trying to flex through the sides of the spine. And coming up. And then I want you to go to the other side. So I'm just reaching more, creating space through your rib cage. Feel the bend. Coming back to center. So reach one way, create space. Wobble yourself down. And up. So reach to the side, create space under that rib cage as you reach the other way. Up, over, up, one way, up, over. And now just changing legs. Alright, so stay nice and tall. Alright, so we're reaching to the opposite side, reaching up, creating space in between our rib cage and in between our vertebrae. Coming back, reaching one up and over. I found this a lot more challenging with this leg bent in. Ooh. And coming back, one way, up and over. To center. One way, up. Just a few more times. Up. Over. One way, up. And over. And just bringing those legs forward, just give them a shake. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that Pilates class. So this one, I'm going to try and focus on giving your body options for movement as an terms of flexibility and range, and then strengthening in those new ranges as your flexibility increases. So next week, my plan is to follow a similar series, but having a few other options if you'd like to challenge yourself a bit more. And again, you can sort of self-monitor and say, oh, this stretch is actually a little bit easier, or yeah, or it's feeling like I've got more control through range. But I hope you all enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you all next time.